Lemonis. His team 2-2 on the week. Lost 2 out of 3 out there at Georgia. But, Coach, people say it all the time about baseball. One of your former players, Tanner Allen, tweeted this last night. Win your series at home. Don't get swept on the road. How important was coming back on yesterday after what was a heartbreaking loss on Saturday, and not only getting the win, but getting that kind of win?
Yeah, I thought it was it's a feel good. You always like to win on Sunday when you got to get on the bus and come home for the week. And we were pretty crushed on Saturday night. We felt like we played pretty well in some phases of the game, and a couple of mistakes kind of let them back in the game. And we led in that game for so long, it was frustrating. But a learning point for our guys, and they're resilient. They fought back, and we've talked a lot about toughness lately and playing the game tougher. And I thought they did that on Sunday.
We may have been the results of your defensive woes on Saturday, Coach. We have been talking all last week about how good your team had been defensively. They were fielding at a high 980-plus clip. And then Friday and Saturday, some defensive lapses there. What was happening out there with your guys that led to those lapses?
I don't know. It's like when we go back and talk about it afterwards, I have Lane Forsythe. We miss a double play. To me, maybe the best defensive shortstop in the country. Luke Hancock, we throw a ball in another double play, easy double play, and hit a guy in the helmet. Brad Cumbus, who's having a Gold Glove outfield year for us, misplays a fly ball. It's just, sometimes it's the game, and we just have to make better plays in the game, and those plays really came back to get us in that game from guys who have played it really well and played defensively really well in their careers. So, we just, you don't even coach those because those guys will make those plays 99 times out of 100. You just move past them, and we got to make, when we make mistakes, and we haven't made a lot this year, we played really well defensively, we have to pitch better behind them. And it seemed to be when we made the mistakes, then we didn't pitch good. And so there's a, fault on both sides there.
It felt like, though, from a batting perspective, and I know that early in the season it was a question of getting the bats going. It really feels like they're going now. After you got past Friday's game, Saturday and Sunday, we're hitting the ball really well. Do you feel like your guys have just locked in a little bit better? Have they made adjustments? What's leading to the outbursts? I mean, you were in double-digit runs 3 out of 4 games last week.
Yeah, I think a little bit of both. Just getting a settled lineup. We're still mixing it shortstop. But for the most part, a lot of guys are coming and playing every day and getting going. We faced, Friday night, Jonathan Cannon, maybe one of the better arms going into the draft this year. It was just really good, up to 97 with 4 pitches, and he held us at bay. But the next 2 days, we faced some other really good arms, and we were able to get on them. And so, I think some of those guys are starting to click and get going. We started the year, and R.J. Yeager was our number, batting leadoff, and, man, he struggled early, and Kellum struggled early, and we just had some guys get off to really slow starts. And, having those guys being as productive as they are right now, it gives you some real length to your lineup, which is a lot of fun.
You mentioned go ahead, Richard.
No, I was just going to ask you a little bit about Cade Smith, Coach. Through 5 starts, he's got 4 wins. He's got an ERA of about 2.5, and it just seems like the moment is never too big for him, kind of whatever's going on around him. What have you seen from Cade Smith that makes you really excited about not just this year, but like everything that's in front of him?
Well, he pitches with a lot of poise. He just has a lot of poise about him, and he's got really good stuff, so he's pitching with good stuff. And actually, I thought this start wasn't one of his best starts, and he just gutted through it. And then once we were able to get a lead, it's like he settled in and got us 3 more innings, And so just, a combination of just having great poise, but he has real good stuff too. So you're starting to see that from him. And when you can throw 3 pitches for strikes at any time, it makes you pretty effective.
You mentioned R.J. Yeager just a second ago, and that's a guy we just had him in winners and losers. I had him as one of my winners. He was hitting 171 a couple of weeks ago. Now he's at 286. He had 4 home runs last weekend. When you come as a transfer, he had a little hype about him, and like you said, struggled in that early going. But he seems to have really locked in. What's he telling you about what he's seeing at the plate?
Well, now that he's going good, I don't talk to him, so I just let him be. So he just, a lot of it is getting your feet settled. And, we start that first weekend. It's huge crowds, huge expectations. You're the new guy. and you're playing really good teams, and he just kind of got lost a little bit and fell behind, lost his confidence, and then you're playing the game of, hey, I got to get in the lineup every day, and now that he's gotten back in the lineup and he's playing well, you're starting to see the player that he is. He had some really big hits. The grand slam on Saturday was huge. I mean, that's one of the better relievers in the conference, and he hit a good pitch. So we're happy to have him going.
Your bullpen, obviously on Saturday you had some issues out there, and it just feels like it's a never-ending thing. How close do you feel like having some guys that you can rely on there? And the guys who aren't pitching well, how close do you feel like they are coming out of it?
I thought our bullpen let us down a little bit on Friday night. Mikey wasn't good there, and just trying to get him out there and get comfortable too. Brandon Smith pitched really good out of the pen, I thought, on Saturday. Came in and really gave us a good outing, had good velo, good everything. We went matchup wise there in that last inning when they let off and got the guy over. And we got to get Cam more consistent. He's really good on Friday night and comes in and doesn't give us the same thing. And Jackson Fristow has been really good over his last couple of outings. That's not a fair one to judge him on when you come in and you got one batter with the bases loaded. And so I wasn't too down there. And then I thought we were really good in the pen yesterday. Brooks Auger came out with good stuff and good command, and then Jackson was even better. Probably the best outing he had this year coming out there in the ninth. Now, I know you've got a 17-run lead, so, he's got to be able to do it in a 2-1 game. But, the biggest disappointment was we let that Friday game in the 7th should have been a 3-1 game, and you look up and it's an 11-0 embarrassment, and you're just pissed. And so we got to pitch. We got to get Mikey going. Mikey's very talented. He just, got sped up a little bit in that inning. But I think overall, those guys are starting to make some strides.
Visiting with Chris Lemonis, head baseball coach at Mississippi State. Chris, you're welcome to say, Richard, that's the dumbest thing that anybody has ever asked me. And,
say it, Coach. Say it.
Let me ask the question first.
I'm good. I trust Richard.
So, out of necessity, last week you had to play on Monday, but because of weather, so you move it up a day.
Right.
Is there anything to the idea of playing a weekend series and then playing on Monday so that you've got Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday off before you go back into a week where you get 3 straight days, you can do an off day and you can get a couple of practice days?
No, not really. Even we debated it, we're having to do it this week. We've moved our game to Wednesday. But last week the Binghamton was going home, so we had to play on Monday. Especially when you get an SEC play, it is exhausting on Monday. You are so, and I learned that my first year. It wasn't about being exhausted. We'd come in and play a Tuesday game, and even myself, you're so hyped on a weekend. You got LSU here, and the place is crazy, and so you kind of need that Monday to come back down and just get your feet, get a good workout or get back to classes or whatever they can do, so they can prepare for the week. So that Monday one, it was a little bit tough on our guys because we ended up playing the doubleheader on Sunday. That game, we had to really get up for that game on Monday. So I'd rather them be on Tuesdays. Seems like the best way to do it.
That was nice. You could have just said that's the stupidest idea I've ever heard.
I wish you had. I'll be totally honest.
No. In some ways, it was. Once we played the Monday game, it was nice. Pitchers were rested, everything else for the rest of the week. But playing that game on Monday is kind of tough.
Coach, not a lot of time left, but, injuries have obviously been a big issue for you, especially in pitching. Stone Simmons out for the year. Landon Sims out for the year. Casey Hunt, you said you were hopeful to maybe see him back soon. What's his progress like? Could we maybe see him this weekend?
Yeah. He's doing good. I mean, he's pitching. He's working. We're working his volume back up. So we've been good to this point. We don't have a timetable for him yet. So we're still just trying to get him back on the mound and see how he feels and go in full speed before we put him out there against somebody else. So, we'll have to play that one by ear.
Big series this weekend with Alabama. I know you're not going to give us a bulletin board answer, but, Brad Bohannon had some things to say about Starkville the last time we talked to him. got anything for him here on the radio?
No, I don't. I'm going to be the good guy. Me and Brad go way back. I was the recruiter at Louisville, and Brad was a recruiter at Kentucky, and I don't think I competed against somebody as much as I've ever had to compete against him because he's a really good recruiter. So he called me after it went viral, so he knew it, and I get we get it all the time about Starkville. I mean, people say it when I took the job here, and we hear it in recruiting, and it's funny because, man, I love it here. I mean, I'm not just saying that because I'm the coach here, but it's a great community, and these fans. I've never been anywhere where the school was such a big deal in that community, and man, we're getting new places every day. We're getting I'm gonna say it wrong, Chipotle is coming to town. We're about to open that up. Those are big things here in Starkville. So we're proud of our city. I mean, it's not for everybody, but it's for me and it's for our players, and our players love it here. So
awesome.
It'll be a lot of fun this weekend.
Thanks, Coach. We